Hello, my name's Chris, and I am creating a vlog to talk about my cancer journey. I want to share and document basically everything that I've gone through up until this point, and continue to document the remainder of my life until such time as I'm no longer able to. I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. I'm doing this because I want to share my story with others, and I want people to be aware of what cancer is and can do to me, to my family, and hopefully someone out there sees this and can benefit from it, maybe get awareness from it. I don't know where this is going to take us, but here we go. My cancer journey. In mid-2018, I was driving home from work and feeling unwell. Thought maybe I had the flu, and put it off as long as I could, but it continued for days and days and days until, as I mentioned, driving home from work, I drove right past my house and went to the hospital. And I thought maybe, I had a virus that I couldn't shake, or that maybe I was having an appendicitis. I don't know. The pain was pretty unreal. So I went to the hospital, and they ran a bunch of tests on me and came back to me with some of the most shocking news that would change my life forever. And they basically informed me that I had stage 4 colon cancer, which was a shock to me, to say the least. Having colon cancer at that time, I was around 40 years old. So to have colon cancer at age 40, pretty big shocker. I don't even think they test for colon cancer until 45, 46, in and around that range. So for me to be diagnosed with colon cancer, I was pretty shocked. That basically started my journey through this unbelievable stage 4 cancer. Sorry, I'm trying to hold it together as I talk about this, but obviously pretty emotional stuff to talk about today. My journey began in the form of treatment, and the cancer that I had started in my colon. And so in November of 2018, I went in for my first cancer surgery. And that surgery was on my colon, so they had to remove part of my colon. They had to remove my appendix. They had to remove about 18 inches of my intestine, and they had to remove 50 lymph nodes from my belly area where the cancer was growing. We hoped and prayed that that was going to be the end of it, that the tumor was going to be completely removed, and maybe I could, squeak on into remission. Sadly, that was not the case, and they basically told me that I had probably 6 months or less to live. Keeping in mind that was over 5 years ago. So from there, I found out that my cancer had spread. So basically the top third of my liver was infected with cancer. Here's a fun fact. Did you know that the liver is one of the only organs in the human body that will actually regenerate? So there was some good news there, that when they did this liver surgery, within a month, my 1/3 liver that they removed would have fully grown back. So I had the surgery and crossed my fingers and hoped that it was going to be a victory for me. I actually had another surgery in between there in March of 2019. I had a port installed, and it's right here on my body. A port is basically just a way for them to access medications and draw blood, and have direct access, I guess, to inside my body through a port. versus drawing blood through the arm every time, which was a bit of a concern for me, as I have smaller rolling veins and it's very hard to draw blood from me. After I healed up from the port surgery, they started doing some more testing and trying to figure out if they had beaten the cancer and that if it was completely removed. And through various testings, I started to notice that something called a CEA marker in my blood was showing a high value, meaning that there was active cancer somewhere in my body. So they did some more testing, and sure enough, in August, they determined the cancer was back in my liver, and this time it was in the lower quadrant of my liver, lower 1/3 quadrant of my liver, and we had to go back in for surgery and have another third of my liver removed, and hoped and prayed that that would be the end of it. Unfortunately, it was not. After more testing was done in November, I think, of 2021. So I did have a bit of a break in there, hiatus in there, where I thought maybe I'd beaten it. But in November of 2021, I found out that the cancer was back, and there was a softball-sized tumor growing in my abdomen, in my abdominal wall. So back to surgery I went, and had the abdominal wall cancer addressed, and had it removed, and hoped and prayed again that the cancer was not going to come back. But unfortunately for me, it did come back, and it manifested in March of 2021 as lung cancer. So I had another surgery on the lung and had the lung cancer removed, and waited it out to see if finally I was going to be free of my cancer, and unfortunately I was not. The cancer came back yet again in my abdominal wall, and I was basically told that no more surgeries for you. My abdominal area had been damaged so heavily from all the cutting that they have done to try and save my life these 6 times, that the abdominal wall was basically like cheese string that you could just pull it apart, and it was just shredded. And I now have to wear a medical device called a binder, and basically it's a Velcro wrap that goes around your midsection and keeps your internal organs from pushing out or coming out of your body, because I had so many hernias. I think there was 4 hernias at the height of it in my abdominal area. So some lasting damage left there, and cancer, cancer back, and now no more surgical options. So I started going in for different other treatments, and I did 30 rounds of chemotherapy, and I did, it was 15 rounds of chemotherapy I did, and 35 rounds of radiation, and that left my body pretty messed up. Putting toxic chemicals in your body to try and save your life is quite an interesting thing when you think about it. You're basically poisoning yourself to hopefully save yourself. And it was unsuccessful for me. And that brings us to present date, where I currently have stage 4 cancer still, and no longer any surgical or any other type of preventative maintenance that they can do to prolong my life. Now it's just a matter of me living as long as I can, enjoying the time that I have, and hopefully getting to spend as much as I can with my family and my loved ones. So I think that brings me to the next thing that I want to talk about is all this doom and gloom. What drives me? Why do I want to keep living? Why do I want to keep pushing? And I think the easy answer for me there is I'm blessed with an amazing family. Have a blended family. So my wife and I are both been divorced and remarried. So I have 2 biological kids, and then I have 3 stepchildren, which I don't ever use the word step. They are my kids, and I've been helping raise them for the better part of 15 years, and I love them all very dearly. They're all grown. They're all moved out of the house, and there are 3 of them that have babies of their own, so 3 grandchildren, and wow, do the grandchildren ever bring me unbelievable joy in my life. I never thought I would be as much of a grandpa as I am. I love every aspect of it. I love being a grandpa to these amazing little ones, and that is absolutely one of the key factors of why I'm still here and still fighting. Not to mention I have one of the most incredible spouses. My wife is hands down a saint. She is an amazing person that bends over backwards to try and help me through my journey while still carrying a lot of the family responsibilities that I'm no longer able to do. And I'm sure we'll get into that in future videos, but my wife is working full-time on top of helping take care of me and balancing the home and grandchildren and children and everything that comes along with that. So I can't give her enough praise. She's an amazing human being, individual, love of my life. I've also tried to do a lot of awareness and campaigns and different things like I'm doing today with the video, trying to help bring awareness for this horrible disease that can affect people. And it doesn't just affect the person with cancer, it affects everybody in the family, and everybody around you becomes part of the cancer fight and the cancer journey. So that is why I continue on and I push through unbelievable pain at times, and knowing that my time is limited. I'm willing to bet I've got probably 5 months left before the cancer really starts to grab hold of me, and now that there's no treatments coming out, really take my life. So I've decided to talk to all you guys and do a video vlog and share as much as I can about my journey as I continue down this path until I'm no longer able to do so. So what's up next for me? I just basically want to start documenting my life and some of the things that I'm doing in it. I want to share some of the cool adventures that I still try to find myself going on, whether it's a trip out with a family member, or whether it's documenting Sunday suppers and some of the rituals that we now have in place to help keep our family unit as tightly connected as we can. And I also want these video vlogs so that my grandchildren, who are very young, will have something to look at and something to hear my voice and something to remember me by. So grandbabies, hello. Hopefully one day you're old enough that you can watch this video and understand what I'm sharing here and what's going on, and just know that I love each and every one of you. So with that, I'm going to say thank you to everyone for watching this vlog, and I'm going to sign off and say see you in the next one.